All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you a little moment in the glamorous life of an artist, especially a self-educated artist. So I finished the line work in the sketchbook yesterday, and I'm working on this sketchbook today. I'm going to paint this later. I'm not going to get into that right now. But when I finished the sketchbook, it occurred to me, you know what? I think I used six of this type of pen with this little sketchbook. And the reason is the paper is really rough, and the paper also just it sucks up the ink, and so that combination means that the tip just gets worn down and the ink just disappears. So normally I wouldn't go through that many of the same pen in one sketchbook, but this sketchbook just ate it up. Also, this is a kneaded eraser. It's a type of eraser. It's told gummy like this. I think I went through two of these erasers with this little sketchbook because once again the paper's really rough. The paper just ate up these erasers and these particular pens. It's I don't know. I just need to buy them in bulk. I don't know how Charles Schultz did it. Maybe he must have just bought these by the gallon. I know there was a picture of Winsor McCay buying paper by the well, I don't know, how did they buy paper in the 1910s? By the mule load, I suppose, and just gallons of ink that were brought in cubits of sleighs or whatever. Anyway, yeah, that's just part of my glamorous life. Now, the other thing is pretty much I'm the only human being uh, at home at a time like this. I'm in the studio pretty much from sunrise to sundown. So whenever someone comes to the door, I'm pretty much the only one within about 20 square miles who is home. I think door to door people, I think they're genuinely surprised that someone's home. It's like, oh, you're here? Oh, I guess we'd better do our door to door thing. So, political people or people with pamphlets or things like that. I feel a little sorry for them because it's fairly hot here at this time of the year, and I'm very polite and speak with them for a moment. Um, but it occurred to me that I think I need a uniform so that people know that I'm on the clock and working, so that when people come to the door, they realize, oh, you're a not professional, you're actually a hack, but you're doing something. So like, what uniform should a cartoonist artist wear? I don't know. I've never really thought about it. So I looked up, well, what does Miyazaki wear? Well, that's very, very nice. He's wearing an apron. I don't think I have an apron. And that's a very nice thing to wear in the middle of the day. It'd be too hot. So I thought, well, I don't know, what else? Then I remembered, oh yes, Jerry's Artorama. What about this guy? Maybe I should get a beret. I've got lots of brushes. I've got a palette. I could just keep this palette by the door, maybe get a beret, and whenever someone comes by the door, I'll just grab this, and this can be my uniform. It's like, oh yeah, oh, I'll talk to you for a moment, but I got to get back to doing um, the art thing. I don't know. I have to do some thinking about this. I mean, what type of uniform would be appropriate? Because I'm just wearing a t-shirt here. This is nothing special. I don't look like I'm hard at work or whatever it is I do. Anyway, aside from my very glamorous life, I want to point out that my cousin, who actually is talented as opposed to me, he has set up an Etsy store. He is selling some decoupage artwork. I'll put the link in the description, but I wanted to show this website for a moment because even though I have no idea what I'm talking about whatsoever, there actually is someone in the family who is very skilled at things. So let's just take a look at some of these things that he's made. This is really neat. So look at this. Look at that. It's a treasure chest, and it's got these different compartments. You can look at these things you can put in here. So, the art of decoupage, I mostly associate that with France, of course, but I know it goes back to ancient roots and actually different cultures. But here he's taken the classic Marvel comics and repurposed them for this box. This is very creative. I can't do that. That's really neat. Okay, now look at this. Here we've got a picture frame. Picture frame. This is a professional video, as you can tell. That's Superman. Well, that's just fantastic. Okay, alright. Okay, now this really impresses me here. Okay, so decoupage on a sketchbook. So this sketchbook is 4 by 6 inches, 110 sheets, hardback journal. So let's see. So it looks like he's done work on the inside cover. There's the paper, outside cover. There we go. And then this is evidently what he used. Okay, that's really neat. Here's a different type of sketchbook. Let's look at this. So, I guess this is a chest, I suppose? Oh, a treasure box. I've actually not read the Walking Dead comic by Image, if I remember right. But, you know, it's very interesting. There's another sketchbook. Let's look at that. Okay, so this is the same dimensions, 4 by 6, 110 sheets. Okay. Okay, Wonder Woman sketchbook. I bet this is the same in terms of dimensions. Oh, no. Well, okay, it's the same dimensions, but it is spiral bound. Wire bound, I suppose. Oh, okay. Okay, picture frames. Okay, now this is... Okay, I'll go with that. Comic storage. This is very useful. Okay. Yeah, so we have some classic DC figures here, and for something that is very useful and very attractive. Let's look at one more. Alright. Storage box. And here we see it in use. Now that is a lot of fun. So anyway, this does prove that someone in the family actually is talented, as opposed to me. And this is called Knickknacks and Whatnots. I am a little concerned about the spelling knickknack because that is an alternate spelling of knickknacks. I always associate knickknack with a K. Here we have a quotation from Daniel Defoe, our cutler who had now a great stock, blah blah, little knickknacks, and most of the nouns are capitalized because this is the 18th century. And the reason we have the K is because it's some derivation of knack. Although a readiness in performance, a contrivance, a toy, or a knick-knack. Okay. So I always associate knick-knack with a K, but I guess you young kids nowadays, you're dropping your K's all over the place, and I don't know what the world has come to. But anyway, this is the glamorous life of an artist, and go visit my cousin's shop while he still has these, because this is really nifty. And in the meantime, I'll go back to my glamorous sketchbook thing. Alright, goodbye.